No, but you
Thank you.
happily have him go before you.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And certainly there are certain questions that I've had because my district is one of the heaviest urban rail traffic in the country, with the Alameda Corridor, with freight, Amtrak, and Metrolink commuter rail. The Alameda Corridor East was established by communities to build great separations, and I heard you talk about the importance of those. However, there's 40 crossings and only 40 plus in my district, and only about 20 are less than half are built, and the others are in the process. And yet the railroad only provides 1 to 3% contributions. I wish somebody would start working on being able to impose upon them the ability to get that, how would I say, expedited delivery to the east a little more seriously in order to be able to get that done. And I'm glad the administration's Grow America includes a section on that for the freight program to mitigate the negative impacts it has on urban areas. And I think that's important not only for passenger safety, for employee safety, but also the fact that we've had, not recently, derailments in my area and train accidents that, thank God, UP was able to replace miles of that with new rail because of the expected increase in rail traffic. But on the positive train control, there's a lot of discussion on that. But we need to be able to get a report on the cost, on the ability and the feasibility of being able to implement it, especially in urban areas that have a greater impact. And also the implementation, what is the time frame that we have? I know it's December of this year, and there may be an extension based on the need. Most of them are say it's financial. But we need to be able to understand it a little better on that area. And we talk about the ability to get all these things done, but what about your budgets? Do you have enough budget? Have your budgets being cut? Because we expect a lot, and yet we're initially saying, okay, cut. Different projects and programs that are important to the safety and welfare of our communities are at stake. So that's another area that I'd like to have you tell us about. And the size of the shipments, whether it's 110, 120 containers per railroad shipment. There's over 40 coming through my district now. And I know that at one point there was an effort to put in a 3.5-mile train, which would have created a lot of issues for my area. The other area is inspectors and inspections. Do you have enough inspectors? I understand you still, for the bridges, you have 8, of which 2 are vacant. And where are we with that? Then the aging infrastructure that we talk about. We have had a report from this committee years ago by an agency, I can't remember, Southside, that graded our bridges and gave us Ds and Cs mostly. Are we putting away enough money to be able to provide assistance to the locals when they are privately owned? But do we have enough money to be able to get those bridges safe enough to where if we are utilizing for truck or rail, that we have that ability to do that? Pipelines, yes, I have one in my area, but there was a leak on a transfer station that is still being cleaned up after 25 years. So those are major issues that we need to be able to ensure that technology advances to that we are able to detect leaks and take care of them, because then the taxpayer ends up paying for it. Any comments on all my comments?
Sure, and in order to keep with the time, I'm happy to give you more fulsome answers. We can get those back.
That's all right. He took a minute and a half over.
No, I'll keep going. But just if I don't get to everything, we're more than happy to provide more. So I'll go through some of these, though. On crossings, we have asked for additional funding in the Grow America Act, and in fact, we also just released a notice of funding availability and some grants.
Well, how about from the railroads themselves?
The railroads do pay a small portion of Yes, agreed. And I know that these are burdensome expenses for local communities. We also put into our budget a significant increase in a pool of funding that's available for communities to ask for assistance in grade crossings, grade separations, and also rail relocations. And so we've sent that to the Hill as well. In terms of PTC, we actually have a report due to the Congress in the next few months, I believe in June, which we are aiming to get to the Congress on time, if not early, which would be an update to our latest thinking about PTC implementation. I know that commuter railroads in particular need assistance with PTC implementation. And we have both called for that in Grow America and also in our budget as well. I want to make sure I talk about everything you asked about. Bridge inspectors, we covered that a little bit earlier. You are correct that we have 6 of 8 positions filled at this point. The responsibility for the inspection and maintenance of bridges is a responsibility of the railroads. We audit and inspect with the railroads to ensure that they are holding up their end of bridge maintenance and inspection.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
It is once again